Hello, guys. I'm going to go for about an hour because I coach today. And I have to drive 45 minutes to go coach the kid. So what I'm going to do in this live stream here is reveal to you the meaning behind the number 33 and how that number was so connected to Argentina winning their third ever World Cup. You're going to see the power of numbers here, how undeniable these numbers are. So when it comes to the number 33, there's far too many people in this community who just link the number 33 with Freemasonry. And it tends to be those people who think they know everything when they don't. So straight away they see 33. Well, the highest degree of Freemasonry is 33. They've infiltrated that number. I'm going to show you how big the number 33 is in the Bible and how it was undeniably connected to Argentina winning the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Why I said over 18 months ago, I liked Argentina, I saw the 33s, and then Aguero, he had to retire at age 33. I'm going to show you why he was 33 when he retired. So, hey 6079 Smith, Hans Christian Anderson, Tank the Chai Guy, how you doing, baby? Alto, hey amigo. So, yesterday I did a live stream with my boy Durrell, and I can't believe how many people watched it. I woke up this morning, I was like, what, 4,500 views. What happened there? Because I didn't expect that whatsoever. So obviously yesterday a lot of people were intrigued in what happened with Hamlin, and people are starting to wake up to the fact that these athletes are having cardiac arrest, whether they are or whether they're not. I've done a lot more studying into it, and it looks like it was a ritual, to be honest. It looks like it was staged. The more I look at it, the numbers that I see, it almost looks like it's definitely coded. So anyway, let me focus on these 33s so you can truly understand what they mean. This presentation I'm presenting is taken from my FIFA World Cup book. I recommend you all purchase it. I really do. Everyone who has, it's almost 300 people now, have only given me incredibly positive feedback. You're not just going to learn about the World Cup in the book. You're going to learn about the meaning of the numbers and how there's certain numbers that are far more important within this universe than others. So this is taken from my book, and I've posted it on my website as well. So you see in this thumbnail, it's basically number 10 Maradona passing the ball over to number 10 Messi. And it's almost like we're living in this endless loop. I strongly believe, and I've said this, that Maradona's demon attached himself to Messi. I really, hand on my heart, believe that. I think the same happened with Mbappe and Pele. And it'll be very hard to change my mind with that, but it's things that you can't prove. But the career of Maradona and Messi and the Sinks are absolutely insane. So, hey, Phantom, hey, David, let's get into this. Number 33 and how it was so huge in Argentina winning the FIFA 2022 World Cup. So I'll start with what the number 33 represents and show you it's not all just connected to the occult. So Jesus died AD 33 at about 3 p.m. The significance of 33 is also seen at Jesus' death at the age of 33. His sacrifice made in 30 AD was the fulfillment of countless prophecies and promises concerning the Savior of man. The meaning of the number 33 is connected to certain promises made by God. The 33rd time Noah's name is used in Scripture is when God makes a special covenant or promise with him. The eternal promise is to not destroy the entire world again with a flood, and seals his pledge with the sign of the rainbow. It's why the rainbow symbolism was so big at the World Cup. Okay, well, it's so big with the LGBTQ community. It's biblical. That's what people don't realize. The 33rd time Abraham's name is used in the Bible is when Isaac, the child of promise, is born to him when he is 99 years old, which is 3 times 33. And also 9 times 11 is 99. We all know about 9/11. Remember, coronavirus was declared a global pandemic on 11/3, and 11 times 3 gets you 33. The word corona gets you 33, which is very interesting. And monkeypox was declared a national emergency exactly 33 weeks before the 3-year anniversary of coronavirus being declared a global pandemic. 33 also derives some of its meaning from the total number of times 3 or third is used in the book of Revelation. It can represent because it is the product of 3 times 11, which is God's judgment, which once again goes back to why coronavirus was declared a global pandemic on 3/11. Corona means crown, and Jesus is the King of Kings. Thus, Revelation illustrates God's complete final judgment of the world, which is happening right now, which is ultimately accomplished in the final 3 or 1/2 year, which is 1,260 days, which is why 126 is so big, and 1,260 days is 42 months. It's how long the beast reigns for. Period, leading up to the second coming of Jesus Christ. I've shown you over and over and over again all the connections with Revelation, with the times that we're living through. The importance of thirds in Scripture has to do with the universal laws of nature and balance. Judgment is often poured out in thirds. A third of the angels of heaven fell with Satan. The mark of the beast is 666, or 2/3, leaving 1/3, or 333. The nature of everything in existence is governed by the golden ratio, 1.618, which is a ratio of thirds. From the laws of light and sound to the spiral of electrons around an atom to the 33 vertebrae in the human spine. And again, think what happens when you damage one of your vertebrae in your spines. You need all 33. So it is extremely, extremely powerful. 33 degrees is the highest rank of Freemasonry. And the reason the number 33 is important in occult circles is because Scripture warns Satan is a counterfeiter. I've told you Satan's a counterfeit of God. Satan's number 6, God's is 7. God is always one step ahead of Satan. 6 times 7 is your 42, which goes into why Argentina won the World Cup final penalty shootout 4-2. Messi got his 42nd all-time trophy. Argentina were awarded $42 million for winning the World Cup final. First ever World Cup final involved Argentina, where they lost 4-2 to Uruguay. Both those flags have a sun in their flag, which connects to Jesus, the Son of God. It's deep. And that's why I'm saying there's a lot of people in this community, they're extremely mediocre coders. They see a number 33 and just say it's Freemasonry, not being aware that they've infiltrated that number. That's the reality. And people thinking, again, that man is behind everything within the system are naive and clueless. That is the reality. That's why they don't understand my work half the time. So, like I said, Satan's a counterfeiter. And because 33 is an elect number, it's also a master number. It would make sense that if a third of the angels fell from heaven, a third must be purchased from the earth for there to be balance concerning the law, the universal law. So if God has an elect chosen and faithful, then it would make sense that Satan as a counterfeiter would seek his own counterfeit, elect chosen and faithful. You've got Christ, then you've got the Antichrist. So Satan's basically infiltrated all governments. He's infiltrated everything that is pure. He's completely gone against Christ. Hence the term Antichrist. Now check this out. And you can check this out for yourself. So Argentina won the 2022 FIFA World Cup. This is exact now to show you how deep this is. All right. They won the 2022 FIFA World Cup exactly 33 years, 33 months, 33 weeks, and 33 days after Diego Maradona won the 1986 FIFA World Cup. Let's repeat that. Much love to my boy Georgie. That led me to this. Listen to this. I've just given you all the 33s and what that number symbolizes. That's what I've done differently to anyone in the community. I'm telling you what the numbers represent. All right? Not just using the Imaginator. Argentina won the 2022 FIFA World Cup exactly, and you can check this for yourself. You can't argue with date durations. 33 years, 33 months, 33 weeks, and 33 days after Diego Maradona and Argentina won the 1986 FIFA World Cup. So let me tell you all the 33s that I found before this tournament began and a few that I found after. Maradona died when Lionel Messi was 33 years old. Diego Maradona died on the 330th day of the year, which is November the 25th. 11:25. It's why Messi came into the World Cup final with 11 World Cup goals and 25 appearances. It's the date Maradona died, everybody. 11 plus 25 is 36. Argentina won the World Cup in 86, 36 years ago. Messi turns 36, 6 months and 6 days after that World Cup final. 6 times 6 is 36. Argentina came into the World Cup with a 36-game undefeated run. The list goes on with the 36. It's in my book, which you have to read if you have any interest in this knowledge. I don't think there's a better book about how our universe is coded than that World Cup book. I don't. So Messi lost 3 finals in 3 years with Argentina from 2014 to 2016. He lost the 2014 World Cup final to Germany, and then he lost back-to-back Copa America finals to Chile, both of them on penalty shootouts. Just know the word penalty equals 33. Maradona's daughter married Sergio Aguero, who played his last ever game on the 303rd day of the year, and he retired at age 33. Sergio Aguero played his last ever professional football game on Diego Maradona's 61st birthday. 61's the 18th prime. Argentina won the 18th all-time trophy, and what was their 18th all-time appearance at the World Cup? Messi, when he won the FIFA Youth World Championship, wore number 18, the jersey 18, which is 6 plus 6 plus 6. Aguero, I did a video about it over a year ago, saying that he sacrificed his career for Argentina to get to the World Cup final, which he did. He retired at age 33. And then this is, again, what I do differently to everybody else. Then Aguero's in the changing room with his Argentina kit on, smoking a cigar, drinking champagne. He wasn't even in the squad. Why was he there? Because of my code. Because he sacrificed his career at 33. Why do you think Maradona, Messi, and Aguero have all played at Barcelona? Massive Catholic club. All right, you've got to start looking into all of this now. Certain clubs are more satanic than others. Man United, the Red Devils. Okay? A lot of these top stars, they go to these clubs. Real Madrid. So, Argentina now, they've won 3 World Cup finals, lost 3 World Cup finals. The 2022 FIFA World Cup final ended 3-3. You can't make this up, guys. They opened their World Cup campaign on November the 22nd, which is 11-22. 11 plus 22 is 33. They beat France in the World Cup final, whose dialing code is plus 33. Messi and Argentina lost the 2014 FIFA World Cup final 1-0 to Germany. That was on the 13th of July, 13-7, the 33rd prime. Just know that Messi and Maradona have both lost World Cup finals 1-0 to Germany. Okay? Again, you'll see in my World Cup book how synced. If this is blowing your mind, wait till you read it. How synced Maradona is with Messi. It's undeniable. So Angel Di Maria, he scored in the FIFA 2022 World Cup final. And his name is Angel of Mary. And remember, he wears number 11 for Argentina. And he scored the winning goal in the Copa America final against Brazil after 22 minutes. 11 plus 22 is 33. And then you have Maria Eva Duarte de Peron. She died at age 33. She sang "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." Died at 33. All right. And then we know Madonna covered that song And Madonna sounds a lot like Maradona. And when you hear "Don't cry for me, Argentina, the truth is I never left you," it implies to me that a lot of these celebrities don't die. Literally saying, "Don't cry for me, Argentina, the truth is I never left you." Because they get new identities, a lot of these people. It's as simple as that. So I've just given you this most mind-blowing presentation about the number 33. You don't think our reality is coded? You don't think it's biblical? Do you think man's doing it all? I hope you don't have to listen to that. Hey, Maverick, no, you're not a mediocre decoder. No, you're not. I think your work's getting better every day. But you just always see people. Masonry equals 33. The highest degree of Freemasonry is 33. They put all the energy and power into man because of people like Hubbard. The fact is, man is aware of the code and has attempted to infiltrate the code. God's behind the code. And anyone who doesn't believe in God is going to be in for a world of hurt in the next few years. So this is what it's all about now, understanding the power of these numbers, what they actually represent, how certain numbers are connected to an individual. Find out your numbers. It's why I take phone calls and people pay me so I code their life. And they go, wow, I had no idea. I always knew that number was big, but wow. This is the reality. These 33s are insane. All right? Yeah, yes, it is, Denzel Washington. I'll say it again. Of course, 1986 was 36 years ago, right? It was 36 years ago. I know that because I was born in 1986. But listen to what I'm saying, right? Just pay attention to what I'm saying. Argentina won the FIFA 2022 World Cup final, okay? Listen here. They won it 33 years, 33 months. Remember, there's 12 months in a year, mate. 33 months, 33 weeks, and 33 days. I'm not saying they won it 33 years ago. I'm fully aware that 33 years ago was not 1986. Okay? 33 years, 33 months, 33 weeks, and 33 days exact from when Maradona won the World Cup final, June the 29th, 1986, to when Messi won it, December the 18th, 2022. 33 years, 33 months, 33 weeks, 33 days, in a final that finished 3-3. Aguero, one of the main reasons why I said Argentina would get to that final, retired at age 33. His last ever game was on Maradona's 61st birthday. Maradona died when Messi was 33. All right? Go on my website, see the code where I said Fulham would beat the Saints Southampton to keep Southampton on 3 wins, 3 draws, and get their 11th loss. 33-11, master numbers. It's really important if you want to see through the illusion that you understand this code. How are you supposed to see through the illusion if you don't understand the code? Or you think it's just man behind the code? Tuned into Hubbard Live last night for the first time since founding your channel. Glad I found your channel, Adam. Ooh, baby. Cheers, Ryan. I'm glad you found it as well. Yeah, I do identify patterns. I show you how it's all synced, and I show you what the numbers represent. It's very easy to say the Jesuit order equals 201. Pope Francis resided in suite 201. Ignatius of Loyola equals 201. Catherine the Great saved 201 Jesuits. We can go on all day with the 201. Messi stayed in suite 201 at the World Cup. Yes, it's clear the 201 is a very big number with the Jesuits, but the fact is in numerology it's 3, which is to do with the Holy Trinity. And these Satanists, they abuse biblical numbers. They infiltrate them. They're aware of it, guys. They're aware they have occult knowledge that they've hidden from us. And they abuse that. Hey, Wendy, much love. I know exactly, Alto. I say the majority of people in this community, especially Hubbard, who want to tell you that God doesn't exist and you're crazy if you believe in a fictional character of Jesus Christ, is going to be in for a world of hurt. That's why Hubbard's world's collapsing right now. Because we're living through revelation, light is shining on darkness. And look at the light above my head. You're going to see a lot of people this year get caught out. Get caught out. These liars and deceivers and frauds and people in it for the wrong reasons, they're going to get caught out this year. Light will shine on that darkness of those people. So again, if you're one of those coders who's saying 33 degrees of Freemasonry, what do you even know about the Freemasons? What do you know about them? People imply the Freemasons are all evil and sick in the head. It's so naive. All right, 33 degree, I'm sure they are. George Washington was the 33-degree Freemason, the first US president. I'm not saying dismiss Jesuit connections, Freemason connections. It's more about Satanism. It's whether they are satanic Jesuits or satanic Masons. If they're just a Jesuit, there's plenty of Jesuits around Mexico, with it being so Catholic. But are they satanic Jesuits? There's plenty of Freemasons all over the world. You probably have a Freemason living on your street. Are they satanic Freemasons? Or do they just want to be part of a group, to have an identity, to be bailed out every now and again, to have a brotherhood? All Freemasons are sick in the head. It's just naive and weak-minded, closed-minded, stupid. Simple as that. Big difference. Satanism's a whole different story. If someone on your street is attending the Church of Satan in San Francisco, all right, and they're open about it, that they're open Satanists, all right, okay, geez, I don't want to be around that person. But some mid-40s guy going to a Freemason meeting, having a few beers, talking about whatever it is they talk about, I don't think they're evil. So, what have we got? I've started to read your Woke Up book and enjoying it. Thank you, Happy Face Man. I appreciate that. Satan and God is duality. Do you think that Satanists believe in God and Jesus? Yeah, they hate Jesus. They mock Jesus. They hate Jesus. Yeah. The Satanists of this world have been convinced by Satan and Satan's demons that Satan's going to win. They've been fooled. That's what's happened here. They've been fooled and they've been too in love with the world. So they've handed themselves over to Satan for all the perks of this world. And they'll be in for a world of hurt. I've told you what I believe is going to happen this year in 2023. And whatever people want to say about me, I'm very rarely wrong. And you can check my work and I can back up that. I'm very rarely wrong. So 2023, this is what I see. And I've said this. And if this upsets you, it shouldn't. If you think what I'm about to present here is nonsense and you get angry about it, ask yourself why you're getting angry. I always tell people that. If my work upsets you or angers you, then ask yourself why. If you think it's nonsense and it doesn't make any sense, it shouldn't bother you, what I say. It shouldn't bother you in the slightest. You should, if you genuinely think it's a joke, my work, you should be able to laugh it off. It's like if somebody came up to me and said, "You're so fat, Adam," would I get offended? Or would I just laugh and go, "I'm fat? What are you on about? How am I fat?" So if my knowledge is nonsense, you won't even acknowledge it. There's some guy on my Twitter just saying, "You're not special, like you're not revealing anything no one else is revealing." It's like, why are you going out of your way to even message me then? I've clearly rattled you. So I said 22 is a master builder number, and it is. Okay. And 2022 was a year building for the world to collapse next year, which is this year. My predictions for 2023: wars, energy crisis, and I'm talking about literally cutting off the grid in many places. Economic collapse. People say that's already happened. No, people are spending just how they always have spent. They have no idea the true economic collapse and what that's going to lead to. Chaos. Anytime there's an economic collapse, there's chaos. Famine, again, synced up with economic collapse. Famine will create chaos as well. Imagine nations of hungry people. All right. Record unemployment levels. That's what's going to go down. And I'm saying record unemployment levels, not high. Mass death. But then I said awakenings. The last thing I said was positive awakenings, and I said God wins. That's the most important thing at the end. That's what I believe to happen. And I'm almost certain it will. And then what do we have with Damar Hamlin? Goes down with a cardiac arrest, doesn't he? Start off the new year with an elite athlete almost dropping dead. Lots of death already to start off 2023 in the news. So this is where it's going. It can't be stopped. It's written in the book. Again, you can say that man is behind all of this. Well, it's man behind wars and energy crisis and economic collapse and chaos and famine and mass death. It's all man. Man just hates us. There's the 1% or the 0.1% that just hates the world, and it's nothing to do with the Bible. They just hate the world, and they want this whole world to themselves, and they want to take us out. Really? They've got unlimited funds. They can do whatever they want. Would you really care about everybody else when you have everything? Why would it even bother you? Hey, K-Caps International Limited, much love. Trying to get better, not all knowing what is going on. All you can do is try and get better with whatever it is that you're doing in your life. Hey, Claire. Hope you're well. Yeah, I did a live about Damar Hamlin. It's literally got almost 5,000 views from last night. So people found it interesting. I was just freestyling. I came home from sushi. My mate Durrell told me an NFL player has dropped and it looks like he might die. I said, send me his jersey number and his date of birth and I'll look into it. Didn't even plan on going live. I said, you know what, mate? I'm going live. I need to talk about this because I've just found something huge with 243. And I said, do you want to join? He went, yeah. I was still on the phone to him. He was like, yeah, go on then. I'm up for that. And then boom, it seemed to be a really good one. I'm not much of a planner when it comes to going live. Thanks for the predictions. Can we work on solutions for your intranet site? What do you mean by my intranet site? You mean my website? I'm always up for working on solutions. I'm very grateful to everyone on my website. There's so much knowledge shared there every single day. I've posted a Premier League game today, an NBA game. I haven't got a pick wrong this year. But again, I'm not in it just for that. That 33D code there should be enough to make you go, wow. So what you guys, if you want my World Cup book, which I'm almost close to selling 300, I really, really, really recommend that you purchase it for $7. I have only been given the most mind-blowing feedback. Take a chance on this book, guys. I'm not joking. It will take, look, the biggest compliment I've been given is I've learned so much from this book. Now it's given me more passion to code. You've only got to learn, in my opinion, there's about 7 numbers that keep just constantly appearing. And when you figure out those 7 numbers and you see, wait, this game involves 3 of these 7 numbers and they all favor this team or whatever it is, or straight away, if you're interested in decoding celebrity lifestyle, celebrity deaths, whatever it is that you're interested in doing, the Bible, whatever it is you want to use this knowledge for, you'll see in the book how certain numbers are so huge. What I've just presented with the 33, how can you deny it? How sacred that number is. It is the ultimate master number. And remember, when you add up all the master numbers, 11, 22, and 33, you get 66. And the book of Revelation is the 66th and final book of the Bible. And everything within that book is happening right now. Everything other than Jesus Christ's return hasn't happened. It's happening. And if you read the book, you can see that. If you haven't, you go, what's he talking about? Read the book and you will see that everything I'm saying is in the book and is actually happening in our reality. So either this book, which people say is written by the Freemasons, which is almost laughable. If the Freemasons and the Jesuits wanted to take us all out, they could have done it 30 years ago if they had that much power. They could do it right now if it had nothing to do with God. We'd all be gone. If these people wanted us all gone, and if they have nuclear weapons that can take out nations, why have they never used them? Why won't they just get rid of us all if they could? Because they can't. And they know that. But there's people in this community that will make you truly believe that man has all this power and we should fear man. And we should, Adam, illusion, keep your mouth shut. They're going to come for you. They ain't doing shit if I'm protected by God. They ain't doing shit to me. Nothing. That's the ultimate faith that I have. Don't let people in this community put you off this knowledge. Or have little bots come in the chat saying this guy talks nonsense. I call almost everything I say. How can you say that I talk nonsense? You can't. You're either a bot or jealous or completely delusional. This knowledge is sacred and there's different ways of presenting it. There's definitely different ways of presenting it. I present it to show you how the numbers connect to the Creator. That's what I do. I don't take it all to the Catholic Church, although I know the Catholic Church are part of Revelation because Satan in the book of Revelation infiltrates the church. And the Catholic Church is in the Vatican. Pope Francis, all these popes have been infiltrated. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. Yale turns 322 years old in 2023. Yale is the home to Skull and Bones, Order 322. Amazing. Morocco, who are so synced up with Satan and Satanism and the pentagram, they got knocked out of the FIFA World Cup with a record of 3 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses. 3-2-2. Just know that Super Bowl 57 as well is on a day leaving 322 days left in the year. Okay? The 3-2-2 is really big. It's not just because of Skull and Bones. Understand that number 7 is God's number. And if you do the numerology of 3-2-2, it's 7. So again, we can just say Skull and Bones are behind everything. No, those members, the Bush family, etc., they do work for Satan. Absolutely. Watch my video about Barbara Bush, who's a blatant bloke. These whole families, guys, are working for the dark side, for the Lord of Lies. But then there's plenty of other people that are working for God. I think I'm one of them, whether you like it or not. And if that makes you think this guy's big-headed, I really believe that I am. I'm calling out this deception. I'm trying to reveal the lies, not conceal them. I'm trying to reveal them. And I do every day. And not just because I'm a smart guy. It's because I'm being guided. Nearly every code I do is not me. All right? And I'm not saying I'm getting it from other people. I'm saying it's God. And I'm not saying I am God at all. Of course not. But guys, this is so deep. It's Chigozi here. Much love, Chigozi. Adam, you're one of the 144,000. That just gave me chills. I don't know that. I just know I was born on 14/4 on my dad's 31st birthday, the 11th prime. I know there's 1,440 minutes in a day. There's a reason why modern day Freemasonry and Messi was born on 624 and 6 times 24 is 144. It's 14 times 4, by the way, is 56. And that's another number they've massively infiltrated. But the whole point of 56, honestly, it comes back to the beast. That's Revelation 5:6. All right, people will say Society of Jesus equals 56. Yes, it does. Pope equals 56. Yes, it does. They'll give you all of that, and that's absolutely fine. But the fact is, Revelation 5:6 is why this 56 is big. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb as it had been slain. This is Jesus, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. All right, 7, 4, it's really big. It's why 7's the 4th prime. It's why the US Independence Day is 7/4, July the 4th. I really believe Satan came up with the concept of the United States of America and the Illuminati. You'll say it's Adam Weishaupt who came up with it. No, I don't believe that. The Illuminati, Lucifer's the illuminated one, the light bearer, that's what we told. They were founded May the 1st, 1776 in Bavaria, in Germany, which is where Elizabeth Christ Trump died, 6666. Trump's grandmother. Trump's German, by the way. His name's doesnt. All right? He's a Nazi, is Trump. So all you people voting for him and idolizing Trump, the guy is a Nazi who's a Satanist, who is a female portraying himself as a male. Donald Trump. Doesnt. Okay, by the way, Bavaria, that's where Adidas was founded. 3 stripes on each side. Yes, Adidas was founded in Bavaria, where the Illuminati were founded. So May the 1st, 1776, you've got the Illuminati being founded. And then you have 7/4, 1776, the Declaration of Independence being signed. Basically, the establishment of the United States of America. The same year the Illuminati were founded, months afterwards. Okay? And then the US became the superpower. It's not random why the US became the superpower. You can look into Washington. Yes, you can see how Freemasonic it is. It's undeniably Freemasonic and occult, and the symbolism's off the charts. But these same people are going to destroy the US because they build things up and then they destroy it. It's order out of chaos. It's what they do. So just think of the media, how they build up a celebrity and destroy a celebrity. They're about to destroy their own invention. Now they want a one world government. Complete control. That's what they want. Why have a powerful country when we can just control the world in their head? But again, they can't. They might think they can. They might already think that they have. They can't. The only person in complete control of the universe is God. That is it. That is it. It's as simple as that. To me. Ephesians 5 through 11, 12, having nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. I love it, Stan. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. Exposing the deception, exposing the lies. That's what I do. And I do it in a range of ways. I don't just use professional sports to do that. Go back and watch all my videos and see what I've exposed and the topics that I've discussed. People saying all you can do is be amazing at decoding sports. No, that's nonsense. Go watch my stuff. It's all there. Everything I've said and done is all there. There's a body of work for you all to watch, especially if you're new to me. I don't need to say what I've done and what I've revealed. It's all there for you to watch. There. You don't even have to go on my website to see what I do every day, although it helps. You can certainly see the level I'm at and what I expose daily through my website. YouTube, you only get a snippet of what I reveal. Can't tell you everything. I don't say appointed, not elected. I say selected, not elected. Yeah, there's still many people in the world that believe their vote means something. They believe that because they want to believe that. They want to believe that they have power and control in their lives when most people don't. They're puppets on a string. So I've had people have a go at me for not voting. It's just, number one, it's none of their business. And two, if you want to vote. I don't want to vote. I don't believe in it. Well, that means that you're not patriotic. No, I'm not. I'm not patriotic. Never have been. You're going to try and have a dig at me for not being patriotic? You think I'm going to fall for that nonsense? The US in the land of the free? Everyone in the US is a slave to the system. They're not free. True freedom comes from within, through your belief in Jesus. That's freedom. When you have no fear. The land of the free, the US, where you're paying taxes. It's absolutely comical. Where there's constant laws and regulations being put in place. You're not free at all. You're enslaved to a system, but most slaves are not aware that they're actually slaves. They're not aware of it. You think Arsenal win today? Very dangerous game. 43 was monumentally huge yesterday. If you watch my live stream, it's a huge number. They might, if I took that game, I wouldn't want to take Arsenal money line. I'd rather Newcastle double chance. But again, what they're doing with Arsenal needs to be a red flag to every football fan in the world. Their squad is average. I don't know how many times I've told you this. Their squad is very, very, very average. And they're cruising in the Premier League. It's got to be a red flag to you all that. If you know anything about football, which I'm sure a lot of you do, just look at their squad, then look at Man City's. It's comical. It's comical looking at the Arsenal squad and that they're absolutely cruising. It's because they've got the code. Yes, politicians are selected at the highest level. I don't know how it works with local council. Probably the same, to be honest. But when it comes to your presidents and prime ministers, all completely coded. Like in the US, they officially become the president on 2001. 201, the 20th of January. It's your three again. Pope John Paul II was once created a cardinal on 6/26/1967. From that day to the NHL SC Finals Game 6 is 55 years exactly. Satan knew Avalanche would win the finals. Wow. I had the Avalanche to win the finals. I had them to win it 4-2. That's on my website. I had them to win it 4-2. I had the NBA Finals to be 4-2 and the World Series to be 4-2 because 42 times 3 is 126 and 1,260 days is 42 months. That's how long the beast reigns for. That's great stuff. But yeah, Avalanche, they beat the Lightning. It's all connected to weather as well. Weather warfare, climate change. You got Lightning against Avalanche. It's so deep. It really is really, really deep. The Boston Celtics are doing so well because the coach was born the 181st day of the year, the 42nd prime. And they wear green, which is the fourth horseman, which is death. So it's very interesting. You're going to see a lot of green this year. Green appearing everywhere. The Queen's last photo with horses, she was stood between two white horses, which is the Antichrist, wearing a green dress. It's the last time you saw her with a horse. So two horses either side of her. Again, Florence and the Machine. The horses are coming, so you better run. The horses are coming. The Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen again with WWE, with Ric Flair. The GOAT, who was the leader of the Four Horsemen. Then more recently, the so-called women have the Four Horsemen. I think Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. They're repeating this Four Horsemen symbolism. 4 is a really, 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 really big number. Again, like Brentford today, I don't know for a fact, but Brentford can stay on 4 wins and 4 draws and 16 points. And 4 times 4 is 16. 44 is so big. It's why Super Bowl 56 occurred with 44 days left in the year. And the World Cup final was exactly 44 weeks after Super Bowl 56. Argentina won the World Cup final, scoring 4 out of 4 penalties, and they won their first ever World Cup 44 years ago. You see this knowledge, you go, all right, 44. It seems to be, in regards to gematria, connected to death, to the word kill. That's why MLK was assassinated 4/4, April the 4th. I don't think it's as simple as that. Because again, the word kill has 36 different ciphers. Just because it says 44 in one of them doesn't really mean a lot, does it? Will Sunak step down this year? I'll have to look more into it, but I did predict I did say Truss would step down and get replaced by Sunak, because Sunak's 42. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Liz Truss stepped down 42 days after the Queen's funeral. And exactly 15 weeks after Boris resigned, the 77th Prime Minister who resigned on 7/7, on the 17-year anniversary of the 7/7 bombings, and 17 is the 7th Prime. It's why KDB wears 17 for Man City and 7 for Belgium. Get a lot of players who wear 17 for the club and 7 for the country, or vice versa, for the 177. And you'll say, well, the Jesuit order equals 177. Yeah, it also equals 35 other numbers. It's way bigger than that. 17 is the 7th prime, 7's the 4th prime. That's what it's all about. That's why Ronaldo came into this World Cup with 17 World Cup appearances and 7 World Cup goals. 17-7, and he wore number 17 and number 7 for Portugal in his career. That's what you need to know. Not just that the Jesuit order equals 177 and. So these satanic organizations have infiltrated sacred numbers. The numbers don't belong to these societies. Did they come up with the English language? I believe they did in the 16th century, right after the Society of Jesus were founded, 1540. I believe they did somewhat, or Satan came up with the English language. Like he created multiple different religions. But not for a second do I believe that man is coding our universe. Are you kidding me? A lot of people have Celtics making the final. It's understandable. I won't be shocked if it's the Celtics against the Warriors in the slightest. I think Sunak goes in the 13th year of the Tory rule. They can be 6 p.m. Sunak will be the 5th. Yeah, I've seen your stuff, Alto, on Sunak. It's great. Your coding when it comes to politics is phenomenal. It truly is. No, that's all you need to know, the Jesuit order. No, it's not. You've been programmed by Hubbard to believe that. I'll say it again, the Jesuit order equals 177. It also has other values in 35 different ciphers. What about them? What about them? That Imaginator is a cherry on the cake and nothing more. I'm the only one in the community saying that. It's a cherry on the cake. Your date durations are way above it. Symbolism's way above it. Narrative's way above it. Historical patterns is way above that Imaginator. Prime numbers are, Fibonacci numbers are, triangular numbers are, pentagonal numbers are, square root numbers are. Then on the top of it, you can have, all right, I'll type in those 201s. I'll type in those 71s. I'll type in those 33s. Like people typing in somebody's last name. I don't, Simpson, for example. Simpson equals 33. So if somebody's name, if you have a friend called Alan Simpson, and they'll type Simpson in the Imaginator and go, look, Simpson equals 33. Clearly you're a Freemason. You may as well be a 2-year-old with that. I've seen people do it. People saying Hubbard equals 56. You're just going to put in his last name. Again, who knows if it's his actual last name, but by typing in Hubbard or typing in The Illusion, which is not even my birth name, it's like there'll be people doing that, and I almost pity their coding skills when they do that. Give me something deeper than typing something in a calculator. Like, come on. It's got to be better than that now. Simpson is a perfect match to Masonry. It is. That's better because it's in the 4 ciphers it is, but not in the 36. Boris can possibly come back in Chamberlain Churchill scenario. Yeah, he's got that book, isn't he? Where Boris basically wrote a book dedicated to Winston Churchill, who was Prime Minister during World War I and World War II. Churchill was a female deceiver, Satanist, always doing that. Told you people worshipping Churchill, that if it wasn't for Churchill, we wouldn't have won the world wars. You think one fat little old inverted Satanist dictates a nation's going to win the world war or not? You think Hitler triggered World War I and World War II because he was a good speaker? This is the stuff you have to ask yourself. If you're a student now and they're teaching you about World War and World War II and they're going on about Hitler, put up your hand and say, hey, Miss, sir, do you really realize that one guy, do you really think that one guy had the power to start world wars? One guy, it was him. Watch the face of that teacher. So don't ask those type of questions. All right? How did we even know who Hitler was? Because they promoted Hitler. The character of Adolf Hitler was promoted. All right? And he was an incredible actor and an incredible speaker, no doubt about it. But to think that one guy can trigger world wars? No, the wars couldn't be stopped. They were biblical. They were not going to be stopped. And they started when they were supposed to start and they ended when they were supposed to end. It's not the occult that started it. All right, guys, we better stop the war on this date. It's not them doing it. Yeah, Gematria's super lame most of the time. Yeah. And people say, how can you say that? You're a guru of Gematria. No, anybody can do Gematria. Anyone. Like you could take Gematria to a primary school and they could figure out words that have certain numerical values easily. Can't take my knowledge to primary school and have the kids do what I do. Not one of them could do it. Typing stuff in a calculator. I've seen stuff like, what did somebody, I think somebody typed into the Imaginator, the illusion is a deceiver. And I think it was 666 or something. I'm like, what? You typed in the illusion is a deceiver. So I'm a Satanist because that equals 666. It's like, what about that Itachi who typed in skull and bones and he, instead of putting and, he put N, skull N bones. This is why the community gets rinsed by so many people for that calculator. When my code there for 33 in Argentina, tell me anything I said in that had a numerical value in Gematria. Let's read it again before I go. Let me read this again and tell me where there's anything about blah, blah, blah equals 33. Tell me anything here. Let's go back to the start if you've just come in. Because I need to read this again because it's that good. And it is. The number 33 and how it was so huge in Argentina winning the FIFA 2022 World Cup. Jesus died AD 33 at about 3 p.m. The significance of 33 is also seen at Jesus' death at the age of 33. His sacrifice made in 30 AD was the fulfillment of countless prophecies and promises concerning the Savior of man. The meaning of the number 33 is connected to certain promises made by God. The 33rd time Noah's name is used in Scripture is when God makes a special covenant of promise with him. The eternal promises to not destroy the entire world again with a flood and seals his pledge with the sign of the rainbow. The 33rd time Abraham's name is used in the Bible is when Isaac, the child of promise, is born to him when he is 99. 33 times 3. That's why Tom Brady retired with 333 days left in the year, and he won Super Bowl 55 on 2-7, and 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 33 also derives some of its meaning from the total number of times 3 or third is used in the book of Revelation. It can represent because it is the product of 3 times 11. I told you that's why coronavirus was declared a global pandemic on 3/11. 3 times 11 is 33. Monkeypox was declared a national emergency exactly 33 weeks before the 3-year of coronavirus being declared a global pandemic. God's judgment, thus Revelation illustrates God's complete final judgment of the world, which is ultimately accomplished in the final 3.5 years, which is 3 years and 6 months, which is 1,260 days, which is 42 months. Period, leading up to the second coming of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, I won't keep going on with those 33s, but I'll go back to this code that has nothing, zilch, zero to do with Gematria. So stop calling me a Gematria guru when I barely use it. Argentina won the 2022 FIFA World Cup exactly, check for yourself, 33 years, 33 months, 33 weeks, and 33 days after Diego Maradona and Argentina won the 1986 FIFA World Cup. Maradona died when Messi was 33 years old. He died on the 330th day of the year. Messi lost 3 finals in 3 years with Argentina from 2014 to 2016. Maradona's daughter married Sergio Aguero, who played his last ever game on the 303rd day of the year on Maradona's birthday, and he retired at age 33. Maria Eva Duarte de Perón died at age 33, and she sang Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. She's an icon in Argentina. Angel Di Maria, which means Angel of Mary, and Maria, like Maria Perón, scored in the 2022 FIFA World Cup final. Now Argentina have won 3 World Cup finals and lost 3. Messi and Argentina lost the 2014 FIFA World Cup final 1-0 to Germany on 13-7. 137 is the 33rd prime. The winning goal was scored by Mario Götze after 113 minutes. 11 times 3 is 33. Argentina began their 2022 FIFA World Cup on 11-22. 11 plus 22 is 33. They won the Copa America final against Brazil in 2021. Number 11 scored after 22 minutes. He did the heart celebration. He was born on Valentine's Day. Maradona died of a heart attack. Lots of people dying of heart attacks. And I said that would be the case a while ago. The 2022 FIFA World Cup final ended 3-3 after extra time before Argentina lifted the trophy. They won the penalty shootout 4-2. The beast reigns for 42 months. Messi won his 42nd trophy. It's 2022. 20 plus 22 is 42. They got 42 million for lifting it, guys. They lost the first ever World Cup final 4-2 to Uruguay, which has a sun in both flags. The Vatican was founded, connected to 42, because it was founded on the 42nd day of the year in 1929. All right, all the 42s with Kobe. I've told you this World Cup began with 41 days left in the year. Final was with 13 days left. 41's the 13th prime. Kobe died at age 41 with his 13-year-old daughter. He died in the 42nd year of his life. The 2020 Champions League final between Bayern Munich and PSG was on Kobe's 42nd birthday. He played 42 minutes in his last ever NBA game. He won his first ever NBA Finals 4-2. He died on 126. 1,260 days is exactly 42 months. Since his death, all the NBA Finals have finished 4-2. All right, the 2018 World Cup final, France-Croatia, finished 4-2. This year, the NBA Finals, the World Series, the Stanley Cup final, all finished 4-2, like I told you all 6 or 7 or 8 months before it happened, because of this knowledge. Tell me, at what point did I mention anything there about gematria? Where did I say da-da-da equals 33, da-da-da equals 33? Because it don't mean really anything. What I presented you there, who else is doing that consistently, daily? Gematria is the cherry on the cake. All right. For example, if Argentina equals 33, which it doesn't, if it did, I would have put Argentina equals 33. It would have been worthy of putting in. If the Vatican was founded on the 33rd day of the year, I would have put that in. And if the word Vatican equaled 33, I would have put it in. I don't just put in whatever I want to put in. You know what I mean? So that don't help anybody. That just makes people think this guy's clueless. Present that information to them. Let them check it all over for themselves. That's how my work is. Check it for yourself. Then they go, oh, they either get silenced or they open up to the work. And I do that type of code every day. 33 showing up everywhere lately. You can say 33 is a hoax code again because you're syncing everything to gematria. So, Pale Horse Rider. All right, I think you're a really good guy if it's who I think it is. So you're telling me 33 syncs up to the hoax code because I'm guessing hoax equals 33, yeah? So let me type in that word. I'm not even sure where my Imaginator is here. So I hardly ever use it. Right, so you're saying this. Hoax. We've got to be aware of 33s because, right, first of all, it's not even one of the main ciphers. It's hoax. So if we go here and we check them all out, where is it? Tell me what cipher hoax is. I've told you, you've got to be aware These numbers have been infiltrated to an extent, but all these words are 36 possible ciphers. You've got to see 33 showing up, and 33 is incredibly biblical. No, Vatican City. Vatican City was founded on 2/11/1929. Vatican City, the state of Vatican, was founded, which is the same date the basilica was struck twice by lightning, which would happen in 2013, when your boy Benedict stepped down and Francis took over. Chelsea want to sign Argentine Enzo Fernandez. How did Chelsea go from being such a good team to being mediocre? It's nothing to do with the players. So Jesus lived a perfect 33 years. Exactly, Joseph. That's more important than hoax code equals 33. We know this hoax is within this world. All right? No, my pleasure, Alto. We know this hoax is. We're living in an illusion. We're surrounded by deception. We're surrounded by sin. Doesn't mean everything they present to us is a lie. They blur the lines. Order out of chaos. The answer's often in the grey. There will be celebrities going out and dying. There'll be some that become a new character on the world stage. There'll be some sort of organic element to these professional sports. But there will be a way that they've somehow been corrupted. I don't believe they can dictate the final outcome though. But I think they can play around during it. I think they can lead you in the wrong direction through their knowledge of where the world's going. Imagine you knew where the world was going, how much power you'd have, and how you could use that for good or for bad. You could use it to truly benefit humanity and prepare humanity for where the world's going, or you can use it for selfish purposes and destroy humanity for your own benefit, which goes with the 7 deadly sins of greed, which is just one of the 7. In regards to when did the beast reign start, it's impossible to say because it's not written in the book. I'll just tell you from 3/11/2020, when coronavirus was declared a global pandemic, to 9/11/2023 is exactly 42 months and exactly 22 years after 9/11. 22 is that master builder number. So for me, it's either happening right now or it begins 9/11/2023. That's when it officially begins and all hell breaks loose. We keep hearing about the calm before the storm with people like Trump. This could be it. I think we're nowhere near where the world's going to go in regards to complete chaos. We're not even close to it. The biggest level of chaos for me will be when there's food shortages in the West. Genuine food shortages. Because if you've grown up always being used to 3 meals a day, and that just out of nowhere changes, that's going to create so much chaos. All right, there's a lot of things we can sacrifice. We could probably give up technology. All right, there's a lot of things we could give up. When it comes to food and the way we've lived in the West and how the average person can basically get whatever they want when it comes to food. Don't ever worry about having food in the fridge. As soon as that changes, and they've already pushed food shortages because of coronavirus. It's almost like coronavirus was a drill preparing us for where the world's going. So they did a few test runs, and I'm not saying man, I'm saying like demons, angels, whatever it may be. I've done some test runs to test us. That's what a test run is, to test. I think we're all being tested right now. I would say the majority of the world's failing. 42 generations to Jesus dived in 3 groups of 14. Exactly. Again, 42 is connected to pi. Pi is 3.14, and 3 times 14 is 42. 42 connects to your 6, which connects to Satan, because 4 plus 2 is 6. So, yeah, the 3 times 14 is 42. Pi is 314. Pi Day is March the 14th. Which is why Steph Curry is so good. It's when he was born, March the 14th. Pi connects to the deaths of Stephen Hawking. I've done a video about it. To Albert Einstein, who I've shown you blatantly married his cousin. Like, they were open that he married his cousin, first cousin. But I've shown you that he married a man. Albert Einstein's a genetic female. And I've told you one of Satan's biggest joys is presenting people to you who are the opposite sex. That's one of his biggest joys, because that is not how God created us. If he created you a man, you're supposed to be a man. Not present yourself as a woman and deceive the world. So again, in this world, in this satanic world that we're living in, you get rewarded for being satanic or following the 7 deadly sins. Nobody will tell me I'm wrong about that. When you think about people right at the top, they're not there through hard work, dedication, intelligence. They're there through the satanic bloodline and the sacrifices that they've made. So the driver named Ken Block, who died the same day the guy tried to make a block in the NFL and had a cardiac arrest. The driver named Ken that died on 1/2 was born on the 21st, and the new Barbie movie with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling comes out July the 21st. Interesting stuff. 217's big. That's why Michael Jordan was born 217. That's something you've got to learn as well, guys. February the 17th, 217 is pretty much the same as the 21st of July, 217. You just got to see the numbers. The 217. And then see that 2 times 17 is 34, or 2 17s, and Freemasonry was founded 1717. But again, you want to focus just on 1717 when modern day Freemasonry was founded, or you're going to fulfill what I'm talking about and pay attention that Revelation 17:17, for God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled. So you can have everyone in the community who probably don't even know modern day Freemasonry was founded 1717 in London, England, or you can be fully aware of the biblical verse Revelation 17:17, where it's basically God handing over the kingdom to the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled. So what's going to happen with the beast? You've got to see the beauty and the positive element of the beast. God created Satan, the beast, the dragon, Lucifer, all right? Multiple names. God created that. He's going to use Satan to basically run the show for 42 months. We're going to have the kingdom of the beast, and that's in order to fulfill the word of God. So what's going to happen? People are going to truly see how satanic this world is. They're going to become so desperate that a lot of people will eventually repent and find God. Why do you think a lot of people on death row find God? They genuinely find God because they're so desperate. They'll find God, and I think a lot of them do. So this 42 months is going to test your faith. It's one of those, like, it's when you're working somebody so hard, but deep down you want the best from them. So I don't know, you're coaching a football team, you're putting them through pre-season, like an aggressive pre-season. I'm sure at the time that the players just don't want anything to do with you, but it's all for their own benefit. So Revelation 17:17 is absolutely crucial. Why do you think Messi made his Barcelona debut at age 17? The number 17 is enormous because it connects to 7, which is God's number. That's why he made the world in 7 days, and he rested on the 7th day because it's the number most sacred to him. It's 7. It's 7 colors in a rainbow. But the LGBTQ community, their rainbow flag is 6. Georgie, I gave you a huge shout out. Can you put your Instagram in the chat? Georgie makes some remarkable finds. He's the one who led me to the 33, 33, 33, 33. That actually wasn't his find. I don't think it was another guy who has a YouTube channel. I don't know his name. If somebody knows it, can put the link. He seems to be really good. It's the only video I've ever seen. A lot of the stuff he presented I had, but the 33 years, 33 months, 33 weeks, 33 days, Georgie led me to that. And he puts in amazing work every single day on his Instagram channel. I barely play around with Instagram. I'm not a fan of social media, but he's great. He's great. He shares all his stuff with me. And again, he's not a guy who just focuses on one thing, like a lot of people in the community. They focus on one thing, whether it's just football or whether it's just rappers dying or whether it's just politics. They only focus on that one thing. He doesn't. I don't. So again, repeat again that Argentina does not equal 33 and that you don't need Gematria because Argentina does equal 33. I don't use the 36 ciphers. I only focus on the 4. So I don't use septenary, whatever it is. It just proves my point. You can, when there's 36 ciphers, you can pretty much find the number that you want. If you present your work around the Imaginator calculator, you will find what you want to find. Somebody might type in Argentina FC or Argentina wins 2022 FIFA World Cup. No, let me take out FIFA. Let me take out Argentina win the World Cup. No, let me take out the Argentina win World Cup. Okay, that's the number that I want. That equals the number that I want. I ain't down for that. For me. Messi finished the World Cup with 98 international goals. 98th Papal Conclave started 12, 14, 18, 30. From that day to Super Bowl, 57 is 192 years, 60 days. 1926 equals 36 try. Messi turns 36 in 2023. Jeez, that's insane. 1926 is when Queen Elizabeth was born as well. She died 98. Just like Messi now has 98 international goals. He came into the final with 96 and she died at age 96, which I said she would in 94. So yeah, that's fantastic. That Rock for Ages is one of the best. I don't know who he is, never spoken to him. I don't think he's on my website or anything. But what he's just presented with that code is how I love to present my work. And again, I don't see anywhere where he's used the Imaginator calculator in there. It didn't need it. That's great. There have been 9 Rugby World Cups so far with 2023, which will be the 10th. So we know it's going to be satanic then. Pele's full name equals 82 and he died at 82. Yeah, but did you use the hyphen with his name on Pele? Because it changes the value of it. For me, I would rather say Queen Elizabeth was born 421, which is the 82nd prime. She knighted Pele, who died at age 82. Pele is connected to Mbappe, who ended the World Cup with 8 World Cup goals, 2 assists, like 82. And somebody was talking about 9. Pele died 9 days after Mbappe's birthday. I would rather do that than say somebody's name equals 82, because the reality is everybody knows Pele as Pele. Who actually called him by his full name? We all know Pele as Pele. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? That's just what I think. You are a gatekeeper. A gatekeeper for who? Resist Sports. I like your name of Resist Sports, but we're professional sports. Just do me a favor, bro. Without me rattling you, what do you mean by I'm a gatekeeper, and who am I a gatekeeper for, and what's the purpose of me being a gatekeeper? If you can answer those questions, I'll be open to it. But by just saying you are a gatekeeper, please explain for who, and I'll pay attention to you. What does 33 mean? I keep saying it. Claire, I've just presented 33 twice in this live stream as to what it represents. It's biblical. It's heavily connected to thirds, which connects to Lucifer, who was cast out of heaven like a lightning bolt with 33.3% of the angels. It's very deep. So the code's on my website. Read my World Cup book, Claire. If you're interested in what numbers mean, what they actually mean, I go in deep about 33, about 7, about 13, about 666, about 42, about 75, about what the numbers actually mean. And you'll learn just from the first 11, 12 pages of my book, you'll start realizing what the numbers mean. If you want the book, it's literally only $7. You email me. The link's in the description, and you'll learn a ton. And you can then add to what I do. It's all right seeing numbers. Understanding what they represent is a different thing. Seeing them, people say, I keep seeing this number, I don't know what it means. Most people don't actually go out of the way to actually look into the number. So I'll show you. My book shows you what these numbers represent and how they all synced up to Argentina winning the World Cup. Your videos have helped me a lot. I appreciate that. Argentina got 911th point in the final since 1986 World Cup final. I had no idea about that. How can I find that? That's spectacular. That's spectacular. Think ahead. No, I had no idea. So you're telling me Argentina got their 911th all-time point since Maradona and Argentina won the World Cup in 1986. 9/11, which again is all over my book. How do you find that? How do you find that? All right, so let's say, sure, disregarding the use of gematria on their rituals. Okay, the reason why Messiah played for Argentina is because it equals 33, and the reason why Pele died at 82 was because his name equals 82. That's weak. I'm not saying it's like doesn't have any significance. Right. You tell me Pele's name equals 82. That's why he died at age 82. So you're telling me everybody, there's 36 ciphers for everybody's full name. So all of us in the universe are going to die on one of those numbers with the age. Maybe I'm going to die. Let me see what my name is. All right. Let me see what my name is in all these ciphers. So am I putting in my full name? Yeah, of course I've got to put in my full name. Let's do it. I'll just use the 4 main ciphers here. So my full name equals 157. I wonder if I get to that age. 248. Interesting. 95, maybe 67, maybe. So what you're trying to tell me is our numerical value of our name dictates the age that we die. So he died at age 82 because his full name's 82, even though there's 35 other ciphers. Is that what you're telling me? Or because Messiah equals 33, that connects to Jesus' 33s, and you're connecting it to Messi, which he is a false Messiah. But come on, mate, to call me a gatekeeper because I'm not a mediocre coder. He was killed. That doesn't mean you will die at that age unless you become part of one of their rituals. Who killed him? Who killed Pele? And how do you know he's even dead? I'll tell you, they reported his death on 12/29, the 201st prime. I'll tell you that in the World Cup final, it was France against Argentina, who both had 201 records in the group stages. I can tell you that's a 66.6% win rate with all the 666s. And at the World Cup final was 606 months and 6 days after Osama bin Laden died, and the World Cup began on 2011, 20th of November, and bin Laden died in 2011. I can tell you he died on David Beckham's 36th birthday. 666 is the 36th try. And you're going to come at me and say Pele's full name's 82. That's why he got murdered at 82. And then call me a gatekeeper because you're a shit coder. Come on, mate. Have a word. This is what I'm dealing with. Give me something more than somebody's name equaling something. If there was only one universal cipher for everything, I would be more open to it. I counted all games since 1986 like 5 times. That is dedication. That is dedication to do that. Wow. I'll trust you. I'll trust your judgment. I'll trust your judgment. Absolutely. So yeah, that's the bottom line here. I do what I do. I have my way of doing it. And I will say the Imaginator is a cherry on the cake. It has significance, but it's not going to allow you to decode the universe by typing in stuff into a calculator. Come on. Let's be real. Let's not be naive. Let's not take the easy way out. Let's put a bit more work in than that. You know what I mean? We've got to do better than that as a community, or we're not going to get anywhere. I know this because at the beginning of my journey, people would do that. And it used to offend me, like it's offending this guy now. But when you get better, you go, yeah, you're right. Somebody would literally type in something like, I just took a massive shit equals 201. So I must be a Jesuit. Literally sending me the stuff. It started to annoy me, but then I started laughing. So people typing in people's first name, first letter of this middle name, and then the last name. People typing people's name in without junior at the end, or adding junior, or people doing it in capital letters or not in capital letters. People doing their nickname. All right. I'm not up for that. I'm not interested in that for me. But you do what you want to do. There's no universal correct way of coding. I ain't interested in listening to Pele's full name equals 82 and he died at age 82. If that's all you've got, if you've got 100 other 82s, I'll be open to it. If that's it, that's why you tell me you died at 82, I can't take you seriously. You know how 11 versus 11 count matches a draw when it's extra time? They count as a win-loss depending on what happens in extra time. It's completely dependent on the website that you're using. So many websites recorded the France-Argentina game as a draw because it's dependent on the 90 minutes. Other websites will say Argentina won that game and give them 3 points. The fact is, when you think about a game, it's over 90 minutes. If it ends as a draw after 90 minutes, it's a draw. So it depends on the website. For me, that World Cup final was a draw. With the website I use, it was a draw. And if you look at the all-time World Cup record, France got their 14th draw in that World Cup final. They didn't get their 21st loss. They got their 14th draw. So again, there's different ways of doing this. My hit rate speaks for itself. So what I'm doing does not need to be changed when I'm consistently right daily. Could I get better? Absolutely. But don't fix what's not broken. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. So you do what works for you within this. You do what works for you. I always tell you that you can give 1,000 people the same ingredients. They're not all going to cook the same meal. This guy might go, my meal's better than yours. No, I don't actually like that, the way you presented it. I don't like the way you've mixed that with that. No, it's the best. This is the best. No, you think it's the best. So again, give 1,000 people the same ingredients doesn't mean they're all going to cook the same meal. I do what I do. It's established. It's consistent. It's allowed me to have my own website with 300 plus people paying. It's given me 8,000 subs. It's allowed me to write 3 books. It's allowed me to do this live now while she sat there listening to me. I know I can get better. We can all get better. But the fact is, the way I'm presenting this work is clearly good. Judging from the success that I've had from how I've presented it and my hit rate. To go November, 92% correct, daily picks. Whatever people say about that. I don't care if I didn't, but I don't care if I coded every favourite under the sun. To get that stat is incredibly hard. Look recently in the Premier League, which I told you, Liverpool lost, favourites. Spurs lost, favourites. Chelsea drew, favourites. Man City drew, favourites. You think you can just pick favourites and they always win? That, again, is somebody who has no idea what they're talking about. They don't know how betting in play works. So I know what I do. I know the level I'm at. And I know I'm going to get better because that's all I do. I get better. If I'm passionate about something, I've got better from day one and I keep getting better. So I'll still open to criticism. I'm open to getting better. If somebody sends me an amazing find like that 9/11 or some of the other incredible finds, I go, wow, or Georgie, wow, I always want to learn. But I'll also tell you, if you're just going to use a gematria calculator and say Pele's full name equals 82, that's why he died at 82, I think that's embarrassing. If that upsets you, it shouldn't. Because when people go at my work, it never embarrasses me. I just want to prove a point, and I do prove my point. That's what I do. 322 wins for Portugal in the group stage, etc. What do you mean by 322 wins for Portugal in the group stage? There is nothing more powerful than God, so why worry? Exactly. Illusion about to neck a bottle of HP sauce. I actually made quiche, mate. I had quiche, salad, and I made myself some garlic mushrooms, and I had a bit of HP sauce at the side. I finally opened it, mate. You inspired that. You finally got in my head. I'm starting to think that you're a HP sauce salesman, to be honest with you. You always plug in that HP sauce, baby. I'm going to have to go in about 10 minutes because I've got to coach. I have to coach, baby. I've got to send a few books out. If you're interested in this book, guys, I've got, 8 people here. I've got 8 more people that want to buy the book. If you're watching now, I'll send you out after this. Okay, wait, let me send this. 1 second. Yeah, everyone who's read the book, I don't know if you finished it. Truly hope that it takes you to the next level of coding and seeing through the universe. Amanda, I want to thank you for buying this book. I'm going to send you it now. May as well send this now. Thank you, Amanda. It's just been sent. I keep getting these emails from companies wanting to work with me to promote their stuff. I ain't doing that. I have no interest. Much love to Marco Ponce. He does amazing work. He just got my book. These things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. Love that. Thank you, Benjamin, who's just signed up to my website, Benjamin DL. I've got a guy called Slick Rick who just does amazing finds. He wants me to lock into LeBron James. He does amazing stuff. Thanks to Adion. This sounds Latvian, this name, who's just signed onto the website. Adion Kalent. No, I better not say his full name. Sounds Latvian. So yeah, if you're interested in that book, let me know. And I'll send it out to you. And much love, Michael. Right, I think I've covered it. Again, the whole 33 code is on my website if you want to read it. Pretty wild. It's beyond wild, actually. HB Sauce with bangers, excellent. Go on, Adam. How are you doing, DJ? Scroll up. Hey, NR. Yeah, guys, check out Joseph's channel, Aquaviva2222. Ben Holler's in the live, legend. Would love a short Messi video exposing his allegiance and how fake soccer is. A bunch of people need to wake up. Okay, I can do that. I can do a short video about Messi. I've done many about Ronaldo. I've done a few about Messi, but I could really ruin Messi with all the information I have. Easy, Ben, lad. Whole World Cup was clearly in tribute to the Jesuits and the Son of God, Maradona, Messiah during Christmas season, and here you are saying nonsense. I've mentioned Christmas, and which is a pagan celebration, which is connected to Satan, which is connected to Nimrod. Nimrod connects to the 13. Nimrod, the demon, who was born on 1225. Don't test me, bro. 1225 is 35 times 35. Messi won the World Cup at age 35. The World Cup final was the 35th all-time penalty shootout. All right. They began their World Cup campaign on the anniversary of JFK's death, who was the 35th US president. Messi ended the World Cup with 7 World Cup goals in 7 games, 7 days before Christmas. So please don't talk to me that I don't know how Christmas and the Jesuits synced up to it when I talked about the Jesuits syncing up with it 18 months ago. So again, please pipe down. All right. The word Jesus Christ equals 151 the day Argentina lost their 36th game undefeated streak. Yeah, I know. I've got it. It was 151 days after Messi turned 35, the 36th prime. Yes. And Argentina's 36-game streak ended against Saudi Arabia, where Ronaldo's just signed in a beast ritual, the beast returning to the Middle East. Pope Francis, who's Argentinian, was born in 36. Messi turns 36, 6 months and 6 days after the World Cup final. 6 times 6 is 36. The book of Revelation is the 66th book of the Bible and the final book. Messi came into this World Cup with 6 World Cup goals. The square root of 36 is 6. 666 is the 36th triangular number. Maradona died with 36 days left in the year. He died 11-25. 11 plus 25 is 36. Messi came into the World Cup final with 11 World Cup goals in 25 games. He now has 13 in 26. Okay? You can test me as much as you want. Messi was born 360 days after Maradona lifted the World Cup. Maradona died 24 months, 23 days before the World Cup final. 2,423 is the 360th prime. 360 degrees is in the circle of life. If you see the code between Maradona and Messi's career, it's so synced. So again, please, I know Jesus Christ equals 151. I'm fully aware of that. I know that. I know it's the 36 prime. So I appreciate you sharing your story. I know IHS equals 36. I know Ronaldo was born on the 36th day of the year and re-signed for the Red Devils at age 36 because I predicted it to happen before it happened. Just like I told you all, Ten Hag would be the United coach 8 or 9 months before it happened. I told you Messi would go to PSG a year before it happened. So I told you Tuchel would be fired when the season began. I said Liverpool will end up finishing 6th in the league before the season began. They probably will. So again, I know all of this stuff. And if you're going to hit me with that, I can out-talk you with your fines. So I appreciate you if you're trying to be positive, but if you're throwing that at me as if I don't know it, you need to hit me with better stuff than that. Okay? So, Easy Gabriel, how are you doing, brother? Yeah, I've got to go in a moment. I said Argentina would win the World Cup as well, Visit Sports. I said Argentina, England, Brazil had amazing riddles. One of them wins, you guaranteed a profit. I'll put my hands up and say I'm gobsmacked if one of them don't win it. My original pick was Argentina. When the Queen died, shifted my numbers. All the Queen's death connected to Leo Messi. It's in my book. That's why the World Cup final was 101 days after the Queen died. The 26th prime Messi has now played 26 games in the World Cup. He broke Lothar Matthäus' record. I know it all the stuff that I've done. I said Argentina when they were 11-1 before they qualified for the World Cup. I said that were the team, that were the one team I said, I'm almost certain they make the final. Like make the final, that was 5-1. So you're coming up against the wrong guy, baby. I got nearly every World Cup game correct. Like pretty much every sports game I almost get correct. So if you're telling me I said England would win, I didn't say they would win. I said there's phenomenal riddles for Argentina, England, and Brazil. There was times where I said England have the better riddle. But I said you've got to back one of those 3 teams. I know what I'm doing because I'm very intelligent. People telling you you can only pick one team. No, who said that? If you would have taken all my picks, you would have been absolutely laughing. If you took Argentina, you would have been laughing. So yeah, Messi scored 101st opening goal. It was his 201st, I think. Yeah, I pinned it on my website. My Argentina code was pinned on the website. It was on my Patreon over a year ago for them to win the World Cup. So you can hit me with your 15136 prime, which happened and you're doing after the fact. Or you can do what I did, where you put out a video over a year ago about Argentina. So TJ doesn't have a channel, but I've noticed if you watch the old TV programs from the 90s and earlier, you will be amazed at what they are telling us. Yeah, they reveal a lot. It's called predictive programming. That's what it is. Resist Sports, it was connected to the Jesuits, which connects to Satan. Argentina versus France, Pope Francis, Argentinian. Francis, like France, the Society of Jesus were founded in Paris, France. Yeah, there was Jesuit connections, 100%, which I talked about ages ago with the World Cup final being a day after the Pope's 86th birthday, who became the Pope 86 days after his birthday. And Argentina won the World Cup in 86, the year I was born. I know all of that. The only thing that slightly took me off Argentina was I said my riddle's too incredible. And it was. My riddle was perfection. I thought it was too perfect, but it was perfection. There's two ways of looking at that. You talked yourself out a little bit of Argentina. Yeah, slight regrets from me there. But the fact is, my riddle for them a year and a half ago was the perfect riddle. It was the riddle. You can look at that. It's two ways of looking at it. And I always said you've got to bet on Argentina. Got a million screenshots. Got loads of videos on it. You have to place a bet on Argentina to win the World Cup. Everyone in the chat can back me up other than you. You have to place a bet on Argentina for their code. Anyone tell me differently are fools and liars and deluded or jealous, or all four. Can you post the videos where you said Argentina, Brazil, and England? Yep, I could edit them all with multiple times of me saying it. You can watch my Aguero video. I've got screenshots of my codes from Patreon. Yeah, I could do a whole video. Anyone who's not a fool and has watched my work knows I always said you have to bet on Argentina. But they say you said England. Yeah, but I said Argentina as well. Are you ignoring that? I've said, right, say at the beginning of the NFL season, I've only picked one team for the Super Bowl, but I know there's multiple riddles. I'm aware of that. It's 32 teams in the NFL, right? Just like there were 32 teams at the World Cup. 32 teams in the NFL. If I say at the beginning of the season, and I pick three teams for the three really good riddles I like, and I say, hey, I'll be absolutely godsmacked and put my hands up and say I was wrong if one of those three teams don't win it. Let's say, so you had the Bills, didn't you, the favorites? Probably about 7-1. We'll call them 7-1. So if I have this amazing code for the Bills, all connects to Queen Elizabeth, the Buffalo shoot, and all of that, here's a really good code, all right? So you got Bills, and I say, Bills have a great riddle at 7-1. I would put $100 on that. And then I go, but there's also a phenomenal riddle for Brady and the Bucks at 11-1. I would definitely put $100 on that. And then if I say, and there's a big underdog here, like there's the Vikings, 60-1, $100 on that. I'll be gobsmacked if one of them doesn't win. Put $100 on all three. And if I'm wrong, I'll say, hey, but I'll probably nail the whole playoffs. So you've staked $300. Let's say the Bulls won, the favorites won. Rarely happens in the NFL. So you've staked 300, but you've just won on the Bulls at plus 700. So you've just won $400 profit. If the Bucks would win it, you'd have $800 profit. And then if somehow the Vikings took it, what would you have? $5,700 profit? Would that be me being wrong? Would people just say, yeah, but it's if the Bucks won it. Yeah, but you said the Bulls and the Vikings. Yeah, but I said if you would have bet $100 on one of those three, all three of those teams, you'd guaranteed minimum of $400 profit. Did you hear that? Did you hear me say that? Because if you did hear me say that and you're dismissing that, again, you're jealous and you're dumb. If that's a business investment, you've just won. You can say you're covering yourself. There's nothing to cover. I don't gamble. I know how to. I won a ton of money doing it. But this is what you've got to get in your head. England, you said England. I said Argentina as well, mate. Hundreds of times. Pinned post on my website with their code on it before it began. So coming at the wrong guy. Coming at the wrong guy. Messi did stay at room 201. It's in my World Cup book. Yes, Francis resided at suite 201 as well. Clearly a significant number. Brady threw for 201 yards, Super Bowl 55. He went to the White House, the 201st day of the year, which is the same day as Giselle's birthday. I know all of this. I ain't saying Pope Francis and Jesuits numbers are not insignificant. They're extremely significant. Nearly every code I do is about the Pope. I'm aware of the numbers, but don't think it's man coding it. Pope Francis is a false prophet. He works for the devil. He's not sat in the Vatican writing scripts for the NFL like people try and tell you. The Vatican's writing scripts. It's all scripted. It's written out in the Vatican. That is foolish. You said Argentina the entire time. There's nothing else to prove to them. They're deluded. Yeah, no, I said the riddles for England, and I mentioned the riddle for Brazil as well. I did. I've never denied that. But I've always said you have to bet on Argentina. Told loads of my friends that, all the people messaging me. Did a live stream with Net Void 14 months ago about Argentina. Why Messi has an exceptional riddle to win the World Cup. It's all there for you to watch. So anyways, it is funny how people's biggest thing to go at me at is my ego, and I said England. So they're actually going at me. I was actually right with Argentina. The biggest thing they're going at for me is a pick which I was actually right about. Says it all, doesn't it? It says it all. That's what they've got on me, my ego, and I never said Argentina when I've got videos about it. It's comical. That's what they've got on me. It's nothing, is it? Says it all about my work. So, yeah, I did, Esteban. Thank you. Anyway, I don't need to get into that. I proved that. But again, it just shows in this community that people lie about you. And like Zach Hubbard said, I never once mentioned Argentina ever. It's clear. How can you be such a liar when there's a video I've sent you from a year ago? How can you lie? It's delusional. We're living in a world of delusion, which is understandable because we are living in somewhat of an illusion. We have been lied to our whole entire lives. So I can see why people are lost souls, clueless, bitter with the world, angry with the world. It's understandable. The way that they're being programmed and treated, psychological warfare, psychological torture in many ways for a lot of people. And I think the only way you see through the illusion is through discernment, which comes from the Holy Spirit, and through knowledge and through scripture. Knowledge is power. Those who don't have knowledge call out people who do have knowledge, and that's how backwards the world is. So that's the reality of it. Can anybody share the significance of the number 201? I just think it's the numerology of 3, which is the Holy Trinity. That's how I see 201. For me, I've got a million 201 riddles, how it syncs up with the world and all the code that we do with gematria. 201, I don't necessarily know what that number represents. Biblically, I'm not completely sure. So I've got a strong understanding. It's not really mentioned a lot, if at all. 21 is a majorly big number. They'll tell you 201 is an angel number because it's got the attributes of numbers 2, 0, and 1. 2 obviously generally symbolizes duality and harmony, which connects to balance and basically adaptability. 0 enhances the energy and attributes of other numbers. That's what 0 does. But in numerology, it has no significance. So there'll be something deep with 201. It has to be something that's very special. I don't know if it is connected to angels. But I don't think there's evil numbers. I don't think there's evil numbers whatsoever. 201, yeah. That's 3 times 67. 67 connects to the book of Revelation and to the number 42, because 6 times 7 is 42. So 3 times 67 is 201. And the beautiful thing about that is 367 is the 73rd prime number. That's why you had that guy having a cardiac arrest yesterday when the score was 7-3. Queen Elizabeth was married for 73 years to Prince Philip. George Bush Sr. was married to Barbara Bush for 73 years. Brady is 7-3 in Super Bowls. So 3 times 67, when you do the factorization, is 201, and 367 is the 73rd prime. 73 is the 21st prime. That's why Brady became 7-3 in Super Bowls the 21st year of the 21st century. Why he retired on 2-1. That's why Queen Elizabeth was married 73 years and got married at age 21. So there you go. Your 201 connects to 67. 6 times 7 is 42. 3 times 67 is 201. 367 is the 73rd prime. 73 is the 21st prime. 21 is the 6 triangular number. 216 is 6 times 6. 6 is a number that connects to Satan. 7 is a number that connects to God. So there's your 201 that probably nobody in the community has taught you. It's directly related to the number 67, which is huge. That's why Kobe died 1/2/6/2020. You add up those 4 numbers, you get 67. 67 is the 19th prime. 19 is the 8th prime. It's why Kobe was accused of raping a 19-year-old, and it's why he wore number 8 when he started out in the NBA. Why it's called COVID-19 connects to the 19-year moon cycles. That's why I can happily predict, if we're still here, by 2039, that something major is going to happen. It's 19 years after coronavirus was declared a global pandemic, aka COVID-19. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Any predictions for these 2 teams in the Super Bowl final this year? I've got my Super Bowl decode on my website, which I did before the season began. Next week is a big week for that. That's all I'm going to say. To be able to call who's going to win the Super Bowl and who they're going to beat, I did that. I called the Bucs to beat the Chiefs, Super Bowl 55, before the season began. I did that. That's where I won a ton of money when I was gambling. All because of the 73-21 connection. And then I just kept adding and adding. Super Bowl 55. It's going to be Brady's 10th Super Bowl. He won number 10 at Michigan. Satan gets you 55 and 10. 55, the 10th Fibonacci and triangular number. The list just went on. The list just went on. I just kept finding stuff, and they did. So people are going to come and say, who's going to win the Super Bowl, who they're going to beat. I ain't naive enough anymore to come out and tell you who I think that's going to be. For somebody to screenshot it or get a voice recording of, this guy's a fraud. He said this and this team would be in Super Bowl 57. Clearly a fraud. Why would I do that anymore? Not a chance. So I do what I do. Again, when it comes to what I do, I'm beyond consistent, and I've been for 2.5 years. And I just feel now I'm coding for the right reasons rather than just for ego and to win money, because I don't even gamble. Coding for the right reasons, that's why I've got better. I know, much love, Ben. I'm not having a go at you. I'm just saying, I know you wouldn't do that. There's people who ask me for a prediction, or I'll leave a comment. I don't respond to comments really anymore. Just because one time I left a comment, who do you think is going to win the World Cup? I don't know. It's 4 a.m. Just typed England or Brazil. Just half-assed the response, because I always felt I had to justify a response to people I don't even know. I've stopped doing that now. And then somebody screenshots that comment, does a video calling me a Freemason, and then tells everybody that I never said Argentina because of one comment, and ignored all the other comments where I said Argentina. So if I was to come out now and, for example, if I said I think the Chiefs are going to play the Packers, if I come out and say that and it doesn't happen, yeah, but you said the Chiefs and they won it, but you also said they beat the Packers, so you clearly don't know what you're talking about. If they both get there and I get it right, ignored. A couple of people, great job. But don't mean anything to most people. So there's definitely people that come in the live, ask, like, who's going to win this game today? Some do it because they're generally curious, or they support that team, or they want to put a bet on. Others are definitely coming in the live to push me, to say, I think this team, to then maybe that team doesn't win, to then have everything I've just said for an hour and 49 minutes gets dismissed because he said this team were going to win. So how can you even listen to him? Even though I've just, again, done this consistently, revealed gold daily. I ain't a guy who does this one video a week and spends hours and hours putting together a code to present. I do this every freaking day. Don't I? So, Pale Horse Rider, he likes the Bucks and the Bulls. If Lakers and Packers, Bucks win it all, I'll be rich. I'll be absolutely gobsmacked if the Lakers win it. With LeBron being 4-6 in NBA Finals, which is 66.6%, 4-6. I'll be gobsmacked if Lakers win it. Gobsmacked. Bucks will not shock me with the riddle. Packers would not shock me at all if they make it to the playoffs. They've got to win next week. You are right on how the date durations are much more valuable and reliable for coding and researching rather than straight up using the Imaginator calculator. Again, I won't necessarily I'm right, because it's not about being right or wrong when it comes to like how we present our work. You can't argue with date durations. You can argue with the calculator. Put it that way. If I tell you Claydex was 666 days before coronavirus was declared a global pandemic, there ain't anyone that can argue with that. It was 666 days. All right? If I tell you Claydex pandemic simulation exercise equals 666, they can say it also equals this, and this, and this, and this. I'm trying to help this guy who clearly wants to code. I'm trying to help him. I'm showing tough love to this Resist Sports. He clearly wants to code and get better. I'm trying to help him. And if he wants to get upset about it and think that the calculator is the master tool, I just think he's wasting his time. He can use it, but it can't just be that. To literally say somebody died at age 82 because their full name equals 82. Do you think it's that easy? We would all be doing that. That is not going to help anyone. And if you want to help people, you ain't going to help them by doing that. That's it. That's all I'm saying to you. Thoughts on Vikings, Queen riddle to make it to Super Bowl? They have a phenomenal riddle, the Vikings, with Minnesota. But for me, it connects not only with the Queen, but with George Floyd. That's where he died. That's where he died. And England started the World Cup campaign 911 days after George Floyd died. I have been doing this longer than you. Learn about it. I will come back and say this, like I say to other people. It's not how long you do something. So what I said to Hubbard. So listen carefully, everybody. It's not how long you do something. The example I gave was Mbappe. All right? Mbappe has been a professional footballer for 6 years. If you've played longer than Mbappe, if you're 37 and you've played longer than Mbappe, you played the professional game longer than him, more appearances, does it make you better than him? If you've been writing books for 70 years, does it make you a better author than somebody who's 32, who's released 7 best-selling books to your 1? This whole logic of I've been doing it longer, therefore I am better. It's not the length of time, it's what you do within that time frame. What I have done in 2.5 years is spectacular. Simple. I've almost done as much as Hubbard in what he's done in 10 plus years when it comes to revealing stuff. He was the original. I'm eternally grateful for what he revealed. But again, to come out and say, listen to me, I've been doing this longer than you. It's silly. It's nonsensical, and it shows no critical thinking skills. Doing something longer doesn't make you better. This ain't about pride, brother. It's responding. There's a huge difference. It's responding to people to try and help them get better. That's what my job is. I am a teacher. I've always pretty much been a teacher, a coach. And I'm teaching you guys every day. Power Ranger guy died at 49 and his name equals 49. How's about the fact that Revelation equals 49, Antichrist equals 49, Prince Philip died on 49, 49 is the 99th day of the year, leaving 266 days left in the year. Pope Francis, the 266th Pope. All right, 49 connects to 77. 7 times 7 is 49. Why do you think Tom Brady retired after 22 seasons, 7 rings, 227, the 49th prime? 7 times 7 is 49. He supports the 49ers and he was born in 77. You think that's all just because somebody's name equals 49? It's way deeper than that, brother. 49, 99th day of the year, 9 times 11 is 99. 9/11 is when I believe Jesus was born. I won't be able to prove it. So what I'll say to you is this, bro. Every day there's going to be a death, a celebrity death. Sometimes tons of them. Do me a favor. Every time somebody dies, put their full name in the Imaginator calculator and tell me if it matches with the age of their death. If you can do that with every single person for, let's even just say a month. If you can do that every single month, when you put in the full name of the person who dies and it matches with their age of death, if you can set up your own YouTube channel, prove that, I'll say, wow, I'll promote you. I'm almost certain you won't be able to do that. Almost certain. But go for it. Prove me wrong. I'd love that. What does the Antichrist have to do with the Power Ranger? All I'm saying, mate, the Antichrist is a little bit more significant than a Power Ranger. Was it the Power Ranger who's green? And the fourth horseman in the book of Revelation's green, which is death? Was it the green Power Ranger that died? I think it was, wasn't it? Was he green? It's because the fourth horseman, which is death, is green. So yeah, there's your Antichrist, because the first horse in the 4 horsemen is the Antichrist on a white horse. Because the Antichrist comes before the second coming of Jesus. So there you have it. I have an answer for everything. United scored. Good, I coded them. Who scored? Casemiro. Assisted by Ericsson, of course. So Casemiro after 23 minutes. 9th prime number. That number of completion. All right, that's good. We'll see what happens. There was a really nice riddle for Man United. But I ain't going to count my chickens because anything can happen in these games. It don't mean anything till the final whistle's over. So Casemiro bangs. Number 18, 6 + 6 + 6. This whole game's a satanic ritual, which I said. Zach will lead you away from Christ, the ultimate truth. Yep, it's one of his major roles. The major role of Satanists is to lead you away from Christ. Whether to have you live in fear, whether to have you be obsessed with your ego, just push the Big Bang Theory on you, mock Jesus. Their biggest goal is to distract you from finding your higher purpose, which is Jesus Christ. So good ways of distracting humanity is what? Put them in a 9-to-5 job. Okay. Obsess them with materialism and electronics. Okay, that'll distract them from God because they're more focused on themselves. Have money as a control tool. We can collapse it whenever we want. The satanic system of the monetary system. Have people be desperate where they're so focused on making money, they're not focused on God. Give you endless entertainment, endless sports daily. Distract you from God. Instead of reading the Bible on Sunday, you watch the NFL, you watch Super Sunday. I see through it all. That's what they do. Their ultimate goal is to lead you away from God to follow Satan. I've seen that. Joseph's seen that. I'd say probably half the chat's seen that. Most will never see that. And they will dismiss what I say, what Joseph says. And the reason they dismiss it is because it scares them. It scares them. You're questioning their faith. And if they don't believe in Jesus and you're pulling out all these numbers that connect to Jesus and the second coming and judgment day and Armageddon and the end times and the book of Revelation, it's easy to say Jesus never existed. We're not going to be judged because you're scared of judgment. If you're massively in love with professional sports and I'm coding them and saying it's all corrupt and I'm shattering your illusion, you'll find anything to prove your point. That is why I could go 90% every single month and still be like, you got 10% wrong. That really blatantly shows that you're talking nonsense. I know that now. I've got to that enlightenment stage where I can accept that. There's going to be haters and deniers because they don't like the truth. They're scared of it. They fear it. I embrace it. I share it. I have conviction. I back up what I say. I predict what's going to happen. Pretty much always happens. Unless anyone else is doing that at my level, they can pipe down. If they're going to target me and question me and say I'm this and this illusion and I'm a gatekeeper. The guy who called me a gatekeeper 30 minutes ago, Resist Sports, I hope he's learned a few things from what I've just given him there. That's all I'll say. I had a glance over Solomon. I haven't coded it, but it's very interesting that he can control demons. I always disappointed about Zach. I believe if you study this properly, it will lead you to Christ. I think that's the whole goal of Gematria. I think God communicates through letters and numbers, in particular numbers. The whole universe is coded. Practically everything of importance is connected to numbers. And yeah, Zach has, I'm not even going to say has a extreme gift for numbers and identifying patterns and connecting historical events. And he obviously leads it to the Vatican Church. All roads lead to Rome and all of that. But he had this gift, and if it's organic, he had the gift of pretty much being the first one in the community to comprehend this knowledge who wasn't a member of the occult. Let's just say this is genuine. And he learned this knowledge and he was chosen almost by God. Who knows? So it was his destiny to come across this journey of numbers and get into Gematria. He had so much potential to lead people to God. And I think if he presented, clearly the way he presents his work, he's not shown any growth. He stays around 20,000 people on YouTube for years and years and years. He'll say it's because his channel gets deleted. That's because he doesn't learn from his mistakes. And he's doing the opposite of me. I'm leading people to God. He's getting them to believe God doesn't exist and is a fictional character. That is the biggest difference between me and him. I'm aiming to lead people to God, but I ain't claiming to be a prophet. I know that not everybody is going to find God. It requires so much sacrifice and work and a huge awakening to get to that point. But I don't push you away from God. I don't give all my sacred energy and say it's all man behind it. The beginning I did. Why? Because of Hubbard. Hubbard led me towards the belief that man coded it. And I'll tell you this right now. If you believe that man's doing it, right, and it is man, and we say, well, they own the monetary system, the education system, the pharmaceutical industry. They own everything of significance. If that's how you want to live your life and think that is the case, man's running everything and it can't be stopped, that is going to make you feel very, very powerless. And I would say for a couple of months, I felt extremely powerless on the beginning of my journey and mainly through watching Zach Hubbard. It's like, how are we going to stop this? They run everything. They control everything. How can we stop it? When you realize that God is above everything and everyone, the ultimate creator, and you realize in your heart and your soul and your spirit, more importantly than your heart, because you've got to be aware of your emotions, your spirit, your conscious mind, your third eye, your pineal gland, and you truly believe within that God's in complete control, whatever happens, and we are eternal beings. You don't think, how are we going to stop the Jesuits? How are we going to stop the Freemasons? We can't stop them. They have too much power. They own 99% of the world's wealth. And when you think with that weak, powerless mindset, you're transferring your energy to these people, which is the main thing they want. They don't need money. They own the monetary system. They want your energy. They want to shatter and break you, your spirit. With me, they can't touch me because I'm wearing God's armor. If anything was to happen to me, people go, he said he couldn't be touched, and look what happened. He just passed away. I know where I'm going with the work that I'm putting out and who I follow. So again, give all your energy to the Jesuit order. Don't dismiss the Jesuit order. Do not dismiss the numbers connected to them. Do not dismiss the fact that the Vatican's designed like a serpent. Do not dismiss the fact that Francis is a false prophet and the popes before him have been. Don't dismiss any of that. Absolutely not. Don't think that they're behind everything, that they have the power that God has. They're playing the role of God. In their head, they are God. These celebrities believe they're gods amongst men. They're naive. There's only one ultimate God. He controls everything, including Satan. So when it comes to being the best decoder, that was always open for debate. We like different things. I use food all the time. If we go in a restaurant, say 33 people order food, different plates. The ribs are the best thing on this menu. No, not a chance. It's the ramen. Are you kidding me? Have you not tasted the pizza? That's definitely the best thing on the menu. And you go in, no, it's not. No, it's not. Look, taste this. That's how I see Brother Berg's the best in the community. Zach's the best. Illusion is. Whoever it may be is the best. It means nothing. It's opinion. You can go back and say, well, look at my hit rate. Tell me someone who has a better hit rate than me. Look what I've called. You can come out and say that, and that's fine if you've done it. But again, when it comes to who is the best, define that. Define that. You can argue all day about who's the GOAT in these professional sports. Find arguments for all of them. I ain't bothered about being the best. I just know I'm exceptional. Don't mean I'm the best. There'll be people better than me who I don't know, who don't have a YouTube channel, who are different level to me. So we don't have to argue about who's the best. It's about gathering information, using your discernment to decide what you believe is true and what is going to benefit you to an extent. What's going to help you ascend. I could sit here and say, I'm the best, I'm the greatest. That's cringeworthy. I've come out and said I'm amazing because I am. I am at what I do. And why can't I say that? Why can't people compliment themselves every now and again if they actually are? It's strange. So yeah, so Derek, I don't know much about Derek's work. To be honest with you, I've never spoken to Derek, but watch his work, discern what do you like. Are you going to learn? I'm sure there's something you'll learn from Derek. If he came up with that calculator, he's obviously got a creative mind. When it comes to his coding, like for me, I don't like people who code and use every cipher. I don't like reading those codes, like reading them. I ain't saying they're bad and they serve no purpose. I don't like reading codes that have every single cipher and they're more focused on the numerical value of these words. Those codes don't hit me. People who use prime and Fibonacci and square root numbers, that gets me. Date durations, I enjoy them. I get a thrill every time I see a good one. So with Derek, I know Zach says Derek's code's overcomplicated. Zach thinks the more simpler the code, the more effective because it's clearer and easier to understand. I say date durations are the most significant because you can't argue with them. So you've got to take bits and bats from everybody. There's nothing wrong with observing people's work, taking bits there, and always have the ultimate goal of making their work better. Take my code if you want, make it better. I'd appreciate that. So let's not go down the line. And people want that. People like controversy. People like competition, whether they like it or not. So when I'm speaking to Zach and he comes on the show, get Zach on, get Script Unveiled on. Much love to Script Unveiled, but everyone, get him on, because they wanted tension. A lot of people didn't actually want the issue to be resolved. They wanted, here we go, up it against illusion, put on the boxing gloves, la-di-da-di-da. That's what people want. They thrive off that energy. It's why in Rome, they love the Colosseum, the gladiators. It's why so many people love UFC. For me, it's not about who's the best. It's not about who has the most followers, who's making the most money from this. Again, people making money, it's the choice of the people supporting them. Simple as that. It's their choice. If none of them want to support, that person doesn't make money. Would they stop doing what they're doing? That would say a lot about the person if they just completely quit because they didn't make money from it. It would say a lot. But who are we to judge that person? Would that person want to keep doing 6-7 hours a day of coding for no financial reward during an economic crash? Yeah, that would be really impressive. But realistically, it's not very realistic, is it? We've got to be realistic within this realm, or you become a fool. God is the master mathematician. I agree with that. Zach is the bad apple, destroying the young new apples around you. It only needs one bad apple to destroy the rest of the apples. I have done all I can to promote people in this community, let them on my show. I compliment as often as I can, only if it warrants a compliment. If I don't like somebody's work, I'll either ignore it or I'll say, hey, I'm not sure about that, just like I did as a teacher. I wouldn't never ignore a student's work, but I'd say, hey, a lot of work needs to be done here. But I do like what you've done here. So the knowledge that we present in, I believe, is sacred. I believe numbers are sacred. They have energy and frequency to them. I don't think there's anyone in the community that knows everything, because nobody knows everything but God. We're going to get many things wrong, but it's very important in this community that the majority of the things we predict are right. We ain't going to get them all right, but 50-50 is not good enough. Maybe 60-40 is not even good enough. We need to be 7 out of 10 where when we say something's going to happen, it happens. That probably won't be enough for the non-believers anyway. 99% is probably not enough for the non-believers. But we've just got to keep growing, be consistent, learn from one another. We all have different minds. We all have minds, but different minds, gifted minds. We're wired differently. Something that I think is amazing, other people will see nothing in. There's certain minds where you're connected with that person. Like Alto likes the way I code. I love the way that he codes. So him and I, we could go back and forth. It doesn't mean me and Alto are the ultimate coders and we're right and everyone else is wrong. It just means we have a certain way of seeing the world or seeing patterns that's similar. And more often than not, the people you hang out with in your life have a similar mindset to you. You're attracted to them. And it's important to know what you don't like in life and avoid. That's why I really didn't want to do the phone call with Zach. And for 10 minutes, I was telling Net Void, I don't want to do this phone call. I'm not interested. I know he's going to be toxic. I know he's going to promote himself. I know he's going to basically lie about me. And then he comes on the call because she obviously wanted it. It helped her get numbers and it makes sense. Sure. Marketing point, get two of the best or the most popular, don't make us the best, two of the most popular gematria coders, or if you want to call it gematria coders, put us together, have us debate. So she knew what she was doing quite blatantly, because on multiple times I said, I don't want to speak to the guy. I have no interest in speaking to the guy. I've said my piece about him. But he kept going and going and going to the point where it's like, fine, get him on. Let's see. Let's give him a chance. For him to then just repeat everything I said he would repeat. So it gets to that point where I'm not in this to be best friends with the so-called gematria community. If I make friends along the way and relationships, which I have with hundreds and hundreds of people, they know that, the people that WhatsApp me, who email me, who call me. I've made so many friends through this knowledge. But I ain't here to make friends. It's part of it. Net Void is going online saying, I don't have any friends. I want to meet new friends. I don't have any friends. I want to create a community of friends because I don't have any. I ain't doing that. That doesn't mean I don't care about making friends and I'm egotistical and I only care about myself. I'm just not doing it for that reason. So half the people go, wow, bravo, Illusion. You speak your mind. Wow, you're pretty ruthless. You say it as it is. I like that about you. Other people will say, he's just proven he has no respect for this community. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. That's the duality, polarity, the extremes of life. That's why you have to be truly comfortable in your own skin, like I am, which I have been since I was a small child and people couldn't handle how confident I was. And now I have all this knowledge that I've been given by God. I have all this extreme knowledge. It could have really taken me to a whole new level of egotism. But again, you don't know who I was before this. I had way bigger ego before this. Reality, my ego should be here now because it's added to the gifts that I have, but it hasn't. It's actually decreased. But those watching me in the live, you don't know who I am. You don't know who I was before I became the Illusion. So unless you were with me from day one, you haven't seen who I was to who I am now. You may have seen my journey over 2 years. But again, it seems like the only way people ever call me out is my ego. My ego has been a gift to me in many ways. Ego can be good. People put ego like over here that it's completely evil. Again, that's somebody who's not enlightened. You've got to tame your ego for sure. But my ego has taken me so many places and taken me to different levels. You have to be careful that you don't become obsessed with the ego and you do everything due to the ego to build up the ego. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with having an ego and self-confidence, which could come across as arrogance, and occasionally it is arrogant. So don't just say ego, he's got an ego. What is ego? Define the term ego. What does it even mean? What does it represent? We all have one. You'll never get rid of it. Even the most enlightened soul will have ego within them. It's the reality. Being able to stand on what you know to be true alone is strength. I like that, Angel. Much love to you. I have nothing but love for you. Much love, 6079 Smith. Take care. Have a great day. Zach gave me this knowledge. I know he's good, but don't call him God. Right. I'll have to repeat this again. What time is it before I coach? Right, it's 1:49, 35th prime. I'm coaching at 3 o'clock. It takes me about 40 minutes to get there. I'll say it one more time. Mitrovic got his 107th goal for Fulham. Fulham went to 28 points in the live table. Nice. 107, 28th prime. Very good. Messi wears 10, Ronaldo 7. It's connected to Revelation. 10 heads and 7 horns. I'll say this one more time. I am and will be eternally grateful for finding Gematria Effect News. So listen to this carefully now. What's his name? Resist Sports. Listen carefully what I'm saying. I will be eternally grateful that I came across Zach's work. Eternally grateful that I came across his work. I learned a lot from Zach. If it wasn't for Zach, I probably, and who knows, because we don't know, we can't say, I probably would not be doing what I'm doing to this day with a website and a YouTube channel. And maybe I would have. I don't know. Highly unlikely, in my opinion. So I found his work. I loved his work. I found it more interesting than anything I've ever seen in my life for 6 months. I have an amazing mind myself. I absorb information. He said I used to make notes. No, I just absorb stuff. I remember stuff. Have since I was really young. And I thought, right, he's figured this out. All right, I've got this Gematria calculator, which I thought was hugely significant at the beginning. I don't think it is anymore, but I thought it was. Didn't really pay attention to Prime and Fibonacci because he rarely talked about it. But he would say these numbers and he'd make some predictions. And I wasn't that bothered about coding sports when I first found him. I was just writing that book, The Illusion, and coming up with all this information, putting it in a book, didn't know what it meant, who was behind it all. He woke me up in so many ways. Okay. And then I thought, I can do this. I'm a quick learner. And if I'm passionate about something, I become great at something. But I'm not passionate about many things. But if I am really passionate, I'll become great. So I thought, I'm going to become great at this. I'm going to give my life to this now. And I actually said, maybe it was ego. I said, I'm going to get better than him. I'm going to do this better than he's ever done it. I said, let's get started. That's where I was spending 12, 13, 14 hours a day for a year and a half coding. I wanted to be the best. I did. I wanted my work to be so undeniable that you couldn't argue with it. I think my World Cup book is a prime example of how I do my work. After becoming more awakened and more aware of the knowledge, I kept watching him. Then I started to realize I'm not learning anything else from him. And time is precious. You can say it's an illusion, but time is precious. Your energy. We'll say energy. I was watching his stuff and I was like, he's repeating himself here. I know everything that he's saying. I thought, he's not growing, this guy. And then he started getting more and more toxic and negative and telling people they should die and get bullets in the head and always begging for money, telling everyone how amazing he was and how good his codes were. I was on his Patreon for his sports and I hardly won anything. I lost money on him. He rarely had a clear pick. I lost money with his picks. I became a bit disillusioned. I was like, I had a stage where I was like, I don't want to code sports because is this it? This guy's the best and he's not even 50-50. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to become better than him at coding sports. I'm going to do it better than he's ever done it. And I do. That's how I am. So am I eternally grateful for Zach? Yes. Do I like him? No. Do I think that he's helping the community at this stage in life? No. Is he giving people basic knowledge of gematria who are new to his channel? Okay, yes, he's somewhat helping them, like he did me. Do I agree with his message? No. Do I believe he's intelligent academically? Yes. Do I believe he's emotionally intelligent, which is more significant? No. Do I ever want to speak to the guy again in my life? No. Did I learn the majority of this information from him at the beginning? Yes. Do I think I'm better than him now? Doesn't matter. Makes no difference. So that's where I stand on Zach. I don't hate the guy. I certainly don't like him. Am I grateful for him? Yes. Am I going to owe all my success to him? Absolutely not. He didn't write those 3 books for me. He didn't make me get 90% multiple times in months in sports. He didn't lead me to God. He didn't lead me to God. He didn't lead me to calling Brady to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl before the season began. Technically, yeah, he showed me sports were rigged and coded. Eternally grateful. He didn't do the code that I did. He didn't write that for me. He's guided me at the beginning. Again, if you're a trainer, if you're a boxer and you go in that ring, you've been trained by your trainer, multiple trainers more often than not. Fact is, if you go in that ring and become world champion, you can be grateful to your trainer for helping you. The trainer's not getting the belt around his waist. The fighter is for winning the match, for going in the ring and winning that fight. You don't see the trainer getting it. So he's constantly saying, I'm your teacher. You better be grateful for your teacher. The student can become more intelligent than the teacher. That's what you have to accept, Zach. We've all learned from you, I would say. Everyone in this chat's probably learned from you. Hopefully now, instead of going to your channel, when they find gematria, they find me. Because I think my message is stronger than yours and more positive than yours. but I am grateful that I found your work. That's it. So is that enough for you, Resist Sports? It's never going to be enough for you, is it? You haven't found God, you're still stuck in your beliefs. Okay. You just sound like Zach. Something he would say. He's always like, the word believe has lie in the middle. So basically, any belief is a lie. Okay. Right, I have to go. Listen, much love. Thank you. Take care. I'm looking forward to coaching. My boy Daly, phenomenal talent. He just went to a camp in Miami and he got player of the tournament, which is great. So I'll do a decent session with him, ping a ball around for an hour, teaching English later. Won't be seeing Kenya, too busy. Hopefully I'll see her tomorrow, but who knows? I don't even think that far ahead more often than not. So, yeah. Thank you. Take care. Again, if you want to check out my book, please drop me an email, aeders11@gmail.com. It's definitely worth it. It supports me, but it also is going to really help you understand what these numbers represent. Those people who purchased the book today, I will send you the book right after I take a... No, there's no point having a shower before coaching. I'll send you the book right now. Okay? Thank you. Take care. Keep pushing. Keep growing. See through the illusion. And best of luck to all of us in 2023, baby. Woo! See you later.